based on recent events and subtle shifts in official language, we have been able to gain a rare glimpse into the CCP's tightly controlled political landscape. Looking at what was said and unsaid in recent Politburo reports, we have detected underlying currents that may signal significant changes in Xi Jinping's standing and the party's approach to leadership. We have been reporting on Xi Jinping's apparently waning power over the past few weeks, and we now have even more evidence. Hello China watchers, welcome to China Insights. My name is Ben Hedges, and on this channel we cover some of the most gripping news and current affairs stories from China. If you like the sound of that, do subscribe to the channel, and now let's get into the story. On October 28th, the Politburo of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China held a meeting to review the comprehensive report on the third round of inspections by the 20th Central Committee. It sounds like an incredibly boring meeting, and you regularly see footage of party officials falling asleep at these meetings or playing with their phones. But anyway, guys, that's how they do things in China, all right? This is a serious piece of news, I promise you. So Xi Jinping presided over the meeting, and it has to do with fighting corruption. According to the official Xinhua News Agency release, the meeting focused on anti-corruption issues, but concluded with the usual formulaic phrase, "The meeting also discussed other matters." While the official release may appear to be typical party jargon at first glance, a closer inspection reveals some buried nuances, making it rather intriguing. The first point of note is the disappearance of the fixed official phrase Xi Jinping thought, or Xi Jinping 思想, which is usually deemed indispensable. As everyone knows, one of the secrets to understanding CCP news releases is not only to look at what is said, but also to consider what is missing. This Politburo meeting reviewed the comprehensive report on the third round of inspections by the 20th Central Committee. Since it's the third round, we can compare it with the official releases for the first and second rounds to see if there have been any unusual changes. The Politburo meeting to review the first round report was held on September 27, 2023, and the second round report was reviewed on March 29, 2024. A simple comparison shows that in the official news about the first round inspection report, it explicitly emphasized integrating inspection rectification with the thematic education on studying and implementing Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. What a mouthful, okay? But let's keep going. In the second round inspection report, there was similar phrasing, stating that we must uphold and strengthen the party's leadership and deepen the study and implementation of Xi Jinping thought on socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. Okay, almost exactly the same. However, in the recent news report about the meeting reviewing the third round inspection report, Xi thought, Xi 思想, was nowhere to be seen. Not only did Xi thought disappear, but even new era, 新时代, a signature Xi Jinping term, was also missing. The second commonly included phrase that suddenly disappeared was the much repeated two establishes, 两个确立, and two safeguards, 两个维护. These are typically standard inclusions in CCP reports on major political events. The two establishes refer to establishing Xi Jinping's core position within the party and affirming the guiding status of Xi thought. The two safeguards refer to safeguarding the authority and centralized leadership of the party and upholding Xi's core position. In the previous two inspection report releases, two establishes and two safeguards immediately followed mentions of Xi thought. However, this usual pattern was missing from the third round report 2 days ago. Anyone familiar with the Central Propaganda Department's protocol might know that this is unlikely to have been an editorial oversight. These official releases undergo rigorous vetting. Decisions on mandatory or omitted expressions are made by higher-ups, not by regular journalists or editors. Therefore, the exclusion of Xi thought and two establishes and two safeguards could only result from instructions from senior officials in the propaganda department. The third major anomaly is that while some expressions that should be included are missing, unexpected ones have appeared. In previous news about the first two inspection rounds, there were clear statements targeting the accountability of top officials in inspected units. In the first round, it was emphasized to strengthen the primary responsibility of party group secretaries and the dual responsibilities of other members, with a particular focus on monitoring top officials at all levels. Also a huge mouthful. In the second round, it was stated strengthen the supervision of top officials and leadership teams and maintain a high-pressure stance against corruption. In this third round, however, the emphasis shifted to strengthening the political responsibilities of top officials and leadership team members, and leadership teams must strictly adhere to democratic centralism and enable the promotion and demotion of leaders. So this part is crucial, guys. Let me explain this. Ever since Xi Jinping consolidated power at the 19th National Congress, references to so-called democratic centralism have almost completely vanished, aside from occasional symbolic mentions. The emphasis has been on Xi's core position, understanding the two establishes and the two safeguards. Since the Deng Xiaoping era, democratic centralism has been synonymous with collective party leadership, or the so-called 9 dragons ruling the water, 九龙治水, with each managing a section. This 9 dragons ruling the waters arrangement was the fundamental reason Hu Jintao found himself sidelined by elder officials, forced into a subservient role for 10 years. Okay, there used to be 9 members on the Politburo Standing Committee. Now there's actually only 7 at the moment, but it used to be 9. It was also the reason that Hu Jintao was so moved that he shed tears upon handing over power, as he was determined to make a clean break as a price to forge a political alliance with Xi Jinping against Jiang Zemin's faction. Jiang Zemin was the previous leader of the Communist Party before Hu Jintao. There's one more thing here too to talk about, including the sensitive concept of leaders can be promoted or demoted, 干部能上能下, is significant, as it was initially crafted by Xi Jinping to curb interference by elders to counter the factional forces of Jiang Zemin's clique. It was later used to remove the mandatory term limit upon retirement during the 20th National Congress. However, after Xi's successive re-election, this term practically disappeared from public discourse. So if we piece this together, we find that Xi Jinping thought and the two establishes and two safeguards has disappeared, while democratic centralism and the phrase leaders to be promoted or demoted have resurfaced. What does this imply? The language flow here conveys a clear message. It hints that Xi Jinping's position may be unstable, with indications that his singular authority is waning and the party is reverting to a collective leadership model. And thus his current standing could also face changes, given the phrase promoted or demoted. If this report was published without approval from high-ranking officials, it's hard to believe that it would have been spread so widely, and other editors and reporters would have republished it and quoted from it. Therefore, it appears that the signal from this meeting aligns with the unusual signals from the CCP's October 1st banquet to Zhang Youxia's recent military-related actions. These signals have appeared not to just sporadically, but with clear linear consistency, make the most reasonable explanation that something significant has happened to Xi Jinping. We've always observed political trends and personal changes through official CCP news releases, and this is the nature of the CCP's propaganda system, which has a strict hierarchical structure. When someone loses power, this may be concealed temporarily, but will be eventually shown in official statements. So guys, what do you think about all this? Let us know in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel for more China Insights.